Hi, I'm Charlotte and I'm going to be talking about my intern experience. So I interned at a radio station in Mornington called the RPP FM studio. They not only broadcast on the Mornington Peninsula but also the southern suburbs of Kingston, Geelong and Port Phillip Bay, and they broadcast to more than 350,000 people. So during my time as an intern at RPP FM, I was really concerned that particularly with what I'd chosen to do, so being on the radio, being on TV, that I was just going to be on the sidelines as an intern. I thought the likelihood of actually being broadcast to more than 350,000 people was quite unlikely. So I was quite prepared to just be observing. However, during my first week there, the host did tell me, he made me laugh. He said, if you're not going to take the opportunities here, you may as well paint our windows. And he was absolutely right. So I took every opportunity he threw at me. So my jobs involved being on air on the radio. So I'd be told to come up with a story idea, research it. And as long as it had a human interest element, so was of interest to the general public, played at people's heartstrings, or was quite informative. That could vary between talking about missing persons in our local area to endangered animals to anything political. And I got to be on air. My first time listening to myself on air was mind-blowing, but I wouldn't let my family listen to it. The media team came and they turned up the volume next to me, and all of a sudden I heard myself talking and I was like, oh, that's me on the radio. And it was great. I also had to go and interview people in the general public. This again really varied between story to story. I was taught how to use the camera as well. I think my host felt that was very, very important. So my work environment was very much an independent one. I was in an office by myself at a desk, writing stories, calling people. We had to obviously collaborate as a team occasionally, but it was predominantly independent, or I'd be by myself on air in the radio studio. So my biggest success was my political interview that I did with Peter Murphy and Jenny McAllister from the Labour Party just before the election. I was so incredibly nervous because I was just very aware that politicians can make reporters look a bit silly. My nerves were increased massively because I realised, oh, it's not just me interviewing Jenny McAllister and Peter Murphy, it's also their entire media team and PR team watching us. And I was freaking out. I was so nervous. It went so well. I got in the car and drove back to the studio and cried. I felt like there were a few challenges. While I had great opportunities presented to me, I did feel that there weren't enough opportunities. It did begin to feel like a lot of my tasks were quite same, quite mundane, that I was kind of repeating the same things, which it's fine because I obviously have a lot to learn still and I was very aware of that, but it did make some aspects of being an intern at RPP fairly boring. It is very hard, I found, to talk on the radio and not sound like I'm talking to my mum or to my friends or how I'm talking right now. So what I liked about my time as an intern, I felt that there were opportunities given to me, and the opportunities given to me were amazing. My worry of being on the sidelines was completely put at ease, and I was completely thrown in the deep end, which, while scary, I really appreciated because I knew that I needed it. What I didn't like so much was just how repetitive the tasks became. So my weaknesses on the skills audit were my organisation skills and my problem solving. Organisational skills actually has come up my entire life, even at school. Again, with my organisational skills, sometimes I would forget my SD cards that my interviews go on. So that means that when it comes to broadcasting, I couldn't put them out there by myself. So I would then have to rely on other people's SD cards. My valued qualities are expertise, material rewards, and status. Status makes sense for me. I wasn't at all surprised, as since I was little, I wanted to be well known for something. With expertise as well, that didn't surprise me because in order to have the status of being a really well-known reporter, my expertise has to be flawless. Material rewards, again, it sounds awful that they're the qualities that I apparently value. I did have to have a little laugh. I think I told my family they also had to have a little laugh. So when I did the Holland Code and the Super Strong activity, I've combined them because they're very similar. My main traits were enterprising. What stood out for me was that I do enjoy working with other people. I do enjoy collaborating with other people. I would say I'm quite artistic, not so much in the pencil to paper type. I can't draw to save my life. And I've been told I possess quite a good skill for writing. Actually, at school, before I decided to be a journalist, my teachers would tell me off because they'd say, Charlotte, you're writing too much like a journalist. And I was like, hey, maybe there's a career in this. Lastly, I would say I'm quite social. I really enjoy helping others and I really do value relationships with people. So when I did the SWOT analysis, I would say I'm quite independent, hardworking, and proactive. My weaknesses are public speaking and again my organisational skills. Is going to massively hinder me as to be a successful presenter. I have to do a lot of public speaking. That is the end of my story as an intern. Thank you so much.